I love the art of the playlist.
Yes.
I love the people who can just put together, like, what I think of a perfect playlist is, you know, something old, something new, like a crowd pleaser, but also a deep cut.
Yes.
You know, some hip hop in there, but nothing too hard, but nothing too obscure, but maybe something obscure, but then a crowd pleaser, like a Come On Eileen, like, but something really modern. You know, I feel like you have to have everything. And then every time I go to create a playlist, it starts off with like a signature like vibe. And
yes.
I'm like, cool, this is working. The context, you know, like breakup songs or a fall walk in the park, and it's on and it's popping. And then I will put something in there that just throws it right off course. And it's all, I make the playlist like all about me and what I'm listening to currently
right now. Yeah.
And I'll do that to like every single playlist.
I do the same thing.
Really?
When you asked me that, yes, I feel like my playlist, like I love the process of making, like putting the playlist together. It's so much fun. I feel like if you're making a playlist for someone else, it's a little easier to kind of control a bit, like kind of like not do what you just said.
Go off the rails.
Yeah. But if I'm making my own playlists, which I do quite often, I'll start a playlist and it'll have a vibe. And then I'll be like, wait, how did I get here? It'll be like 50 songs long all of a sudden. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like, what is this playlist? And then I'm like, I don't know what to call this. How I feel right now.
Yeah. Well, are you doing the playlist for you? Or are you doing the playlist for others? Maybe there's like a give and take with it. Like, you know how some directors, you know, do a project for them and do a project, you know, for the mainstream and for their audience and the public. Maybe we could, with playlists, it should just be like one for them, one for us.
Am I doing too many for myself?
But it's your playlist.
Self-indulgent playlist.
But where else do you... That's the place to be self-indulgent, right?
That's true.
If you can't be self-indulgent on a playlist of your own making, on your own Spotify, when can you be self-indulgent?
You're right. But do you ever find you make the same playlist over and over again?
All the time. All of my playlists. What is your song that's on every playlist?
Lately, it's been Too Sweet.
Somehow
makes it. Or Good Luck, Babe.
Brooklyn Baby for me is on probably every single playlist. But there definitely is power in a playlist. Like, it can really throw because I've been working on wedding playlists. Because I'm going to get meowied. But it's like you're curating a whole entire vibe.
That's true. Everyone will be affected.
Well, you know, a good playlist, if you have great songs and just it's like the context is right, you create the vibe. But you could also create a stinker.
That's true.
If you put some like too many sad songs or too many like heavy lyric songs or only vibey, then everyone's checked out and not listening to the playlist.
Yeah, you got to mix it. Got to have a little mix.
But hey, hello, it's Nikki.
And it's Bree.
And we're
Late to the Party,
a podcast about the film, fashion, and pop culture moments that shaped us into the weirdos that we are. And today, we're gabbing. We're yapping about playlists and the things we've been watching lately. Which, for me, my comfort show lately is High Fidelity, the short-lived TV show starring Zoe Kravitz.
It's so sad that it was short-lived.
I know. I've been watching it because I've watched it about 3 times now. And I just started off because I was like, oh, I haven't seen it before and I've heard good things and I love Zoe Kravitz. And, you know, dare I say it's better than the movie?
It is way better than the movie because I saw the High Fidelity movie just by happenstance, like a couple months prior. And I binged the series in like 3 days. And I just think, well, I guess it's Rob in both scenarios. But Robin, Zoe Kravitz's character, is so much more likable and just easier to get behind as the protagonist.
100%. I cannot get behind John Cusack. And I'm sorry to this man. I feel so bad because I've, you know, had this complex because I've also seen the movie High Fidelity. And I've read a lot of Nick Hornsby books. But I just didn't get that vibe with the movie. I didn't love it as much as I know like so many people love it. Apparently it's the male experience.
I was gonna say, I think that's part of it too, is like watching the movie High Fidelity. As a lady, you're gonna probably side with the ladies because you're like, I see where he went wrong.
Oh, I could see where John Cusack went wrong 100% of the time.
Yeah.
And all the ladies are way too good for him.
They're way too cool. And as well, like
they're regulation hotties and too cool for him. But he's just like a sad sack. But I love maybe because I am a female, Zoe Kravitz's Rob, you really can feel for her because you see where she's coming from.
Yeah.
And why she's making
those decisions.
Like decisions she's making.
I think it's too, like, with a series, you have so much more time to explore that idea. And like, I feel like in the movie too, like talking to the camera, like directly is a little jarring. It was for me watching, and it was a little too much. And you don't really get the depth. Like, I feel like his character just, didn't really go that deep. So I like that we get to spend time and kind of see where like she's coming from, and
Yeah, I don't know how they would have on the TV show, like if there was more than one season or 2 seasons, I don't know how they would have kept up with it. But I love, and maybe that's why, maybe the TV gods were like, you get one perfect season of a show. And now Zoe Kravitz can make blink twice.
Yeah, but is it perfect? Because it ended on kind of a cliffhanger, and it kind of made me mad because I don't know what it's trying to say. And is she going to end up with like the white dude from White Lotus?
The vest guy?
Yeah.
Maybe, but maybe not. Probably not.
Khaki man. What is it? Khaki Clyde?
Khaki Clyde, yeah. No, probably not. But
probably not.
She's probably not going to end up with Mac, the guy from Barbie, either.
Dang. Oh, is that where he was from? Yes. I thought he looked familiar.
I always get him and the Bridgerton man confused.
Oh.
But I like him a lot more. It's like, I think his real life name is Kingsley.
It's very cute.
Very, very cute. But I don't know. I see what you mean. It does leave it on a cliffhanger. But I do love just like the knowing of time that we're not going to get another one. So just enjoy this while it lasts.
Yeah.
And it's fun. I was going to say, I really love the boyfriend of the week aspect of it. 'Cause that's what I love about like a Sex in the City is I love like you go through Rob's top 5.
Yeah.
And you actually get to, hang out with Khaki Clyde and hang out with her and Mac and, just hang out with Rob. So I love that aspect of it. And, at a certain point in a television series, you have to like pair them up.
Yeah.
You have to like tie up loose ends. So I'm glad
you like that it doesn't.
Yeah.
Leaves more to the imagination, I guess.
Yeah, because life in real life keeps on going. We don't know the end. We don't have a resolution.
Oh, I like this takeaway. I feel like mine was like the opposite. I'm like, I want to see her get with Mac.
So you want her to get with Mac?
Kind of did, but then like, I don't know. I wasn't sure because on the, at the last episode, spoilers, I guess. But like when she's on the phone, I'm like, watch her be on the phone with Clyde. Like watch this be like a switcheroony. Like what I think they're making it look like she's talking to Mac, and then it was true. And then I'm like, oh, she's trying to learn from her mistakes. But also like, is she really going to get with this Clyde guy? I don't know. But you know what? I want to see the storyline of Charisse though, and see what, because she gets the guitar, and we never get to see her pop off and her like music. That I'm disappointed about.
Yeah, no, also speaking of time healing all wounds, I suppose. Divine Joy Randolph as Charisse, love her. Like she steals the show.
She does.
And now I'm like, I need to watch The Holdovers, where she won Best Supporting Actress this year at the Oscars.
That's right.
She had remember when we were talking about the Oscars this year and we were like, that Divine Joy Randolph had the best speech.
Yes. Was she the one with the PR? No.
She was the one in the really pretty gown. Oh my gosh, she just had an amazing speech this year at the Oscars. And I was like, do I need to watch The Holdovers now? I swear, I was sitting right here and we were like talking about her speech and we were like, do we need to watch The Holdovers? Paul Giamatti.
Maybe we do need to.
I want to see everything Divine Joy Randolph is in. She just is a show stopper.
She is powerful on screen.
I love her. And I love Jack Black.
Yeah.
I Skiddly Doop. I love his The Holiday.
Same.
I love when he gets frappuccinos with Kate Winslet and recommends The Graduate at a Blockbuster. I love him in School of Rock. But in High Fidelity, not my favorite. But Davine Joy Randolph as the female Jack Black in this. She's kind of
she does the same. Like she's kind of
the same character.
I like that she has like strong opinions on music and pretty much anything, and just isn't afraid to share them.
And you feel for her. You want to be her friend. You want to go to that record shop every day and talk with Simon and clown around with Charisse, listening to Come On Eileen.
That's another thing, dude. Okay, this made me realize I really just want to work in a record shop.
Me too. That's my dream job.
That's my dream job.
Let's open a record shop.
I just think it'd be so great. Like, just you get to listen to music all day. You get to learn about music. You can like turn customers away if they don't know enough about the song.
Recommend music.
Yes.
You can play obscure French disco music and Dexy's Midnight Runner.
Yeah, you can do it all. I just think there's so much freedom in working at a record store. I don't know.
So fun. And I think it's such a fun concept for a film or a TV show where you have to hang. And I love anything like that. Like Empire Records is another comfort film for me. Same fantasy.
Yes.
I want to work at Empire Records. I want to be Joe.
You want to be Joe? You want to be managing all the people?
All the scrappy kids. And when I get angry, I want to drum.
That's funny.
In my office.
Rob is kind of like Joe in a way.
She is.
She just has a smaller crew, but
she is just like Joe in Empire Records.
Yeah.
And what's his name? The guy from Dazed and Confused with the hair that in the movie that takes all the money.
Oh, in
Empire Records.
Empire Records. Oh God, I don't know why I wanted to say Mac. What is his name? I can see him,
but he's like Charisse.
Yeah.
That chaotic energy. Like Charisse would totally.
But chaotic good.
Yes. Chaotic good. No. I also have that fantasy.
That's all I've been thinking about. Like I'm like mentally I'm just working at a record store.
100%. I don't know. I just really, really responded and vibe with Zoe Kravitz's version of Rob. Like I love her style.
Yes.
As well. Like I love her old man like Hawaiian shirts. And like loafers. Like it made me want a penny loafer really bad.
Ooh.
But also I was really fascinated by, I guess, the first episode, the pilot episode, the costume designer was shadowing Colleen Atwood.
No.
Talk about using your Nepo baby powers for good. Questlove is the music supervisor for High Fidelity.
I saw that.
And the costume designer
shadowed
Colleen Atwood for the first episode.
I will say this show is very well put together, and it feels like a full like a real show, and that's why I feel like it could have been like maybe one more season.
Hulu, bring it back.
Just one more, like
I agree. Do another one. I mean, so they still look the same. They look great still.
Yeah, all the side characters too. I think are great and fully fledged. Like I like Simon.
And I do want to see that Charisse.
I want to see her
plot.
Yeah, like
I want to see her thrive.
Right. I'm just rooting for her. It's also like like her story. I feel like is relatable too because she's also like a creative person. It's like all these creative people, and she's just trying to do something with it. And I'm like, that's a relatable story.
I really also relate with these characters, especially Rob. For the fact that her fashion and her music, like all of her tastes, inform the way she walks and talks and like presents herself through life.
Yes.
Which we see a lot with male characters, but with female characters, not always. Like Rob is definitely a person I can relate to in the fact that she's a little bit of a music snob for sure. But she does think that playlists are intimate and she loves music and she thinks her taste is great, which, can seem pretentious, but it's also like the way she operates through life and the way she connects to others and to herself.
It's very authentic. And I love the scene where she schools that guy, which Parker Posey. I love that she makes a cameo in this show. love it. She like is her character is like this artist that does these really like weird, quirky, like over the top pieces that are based on like real things that have happened in her life. And she's like getting divorced from her husband, and she wants to sell the record collection, and she wants to sell it to Rob for only $20, which I'm like, that is a steal, you know? But it's so interesting that Rob's instinct isn't just to like just give her like $20. She's like, no, these records, because she cares so much about music. She's like, you know, it should be more like these records have value. Like, and then she's even like, yeah, your husband or whatever's shitty, but you should still be able to listen to music, which I thought was an interesting take. She's like, music should be for everyone, like healthcare.
It does signal to us as the audience how much she does value the records, which is really like a nice character. Well, development in a way, because I feel like you could interpret her character as maybe selfish.
Yeah, I think she's misunderstood.
I only say that because I've seen the movie High Fidelity. Zoe Kravitz does not play the character that way, but Rob in the film is such an asshole.
Yeah. I would say he's definitely selfish and kind of blind. Like, she's very self-reflective. Obviously, you know, they've taken a lot of inspiration from the movie and stuff, and had a lot of the same setups or the same, like, oh, she calls her like her first boyfriend, who he didn't even consider her a boyfriend. You know, like there's some things that are like kind of the same, but then there's some things that are different. And I think, I don't know what it is. I feel like I can just feel for her a lot more. Like, and she's just seems more relatable and down to earth, and is trying to learn from her mistakes, and things just kind of, part of it is her taking responsibility and maybe refusing to in some scenarios, but part of it is also just picking herself up maybe when things don't go as expected, I think. Just
moving on.
Yeah.
It seems like John Cusack's Rob really does just, he's like, I don't know if misanthrope is the right word, but what does that word mean? But he like is a little more apathetic.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know. He might be a little bit of a misanthrope, a person who dislikes humankind and avoids human society. He's veering in that direction.
Yeah.
Every like, as he goes down his top 5.
I'm like, am I a misanthrope? No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, there is like the world. I think in the movie High Fidelity, it's very apparent, like, these relationships in the world, he's like hardened by it.
Yeah.
And with Rob, it's almost like she wears her heart on her sleeve so much, where it's almost like she has like this tough exterior, but like we get let in to know that she's like a very vulnerable person.
Yeah.
And like feels a lot. So I don't know. It's a lot.
Yeah, I don't think you can be
cooler.
that selfish and be feeling that much.
Yeah. Like she is, but I think she's selfish in the way that we're all selfish.
Yeah, like unintentionally maybe.
Yeah.
And like in the moment, not really thinking.
Totally. And she also values her friends so much more.
Yeah, which is cool. I like to see, I don't know, her little friendships, like, it's cute, isn't it?
It is really cute. I don't know. It's one of those TV shows that you can just like binge in like 3 days, like you said.
I was going to say, like, it took me no time to get through. So
just like Shazamming all the songs, or like
oh my gosh,
all
that's
the playlists.
Another thing. Spotify has like the whole playlist like from the show, because that's another thing I loved about the show is like how music is such an aspect of the show itself. You know, like certain songs will start playing when something's going on for Rob, and she's always putting on a record when she's home. She has like her own little record player and her whole collection of records, and it's like certain songs will relate to like the heartbreak she's going through, or like the kind of day she's having, or it'll end on a certain song. I love how clever that is.
Yes. Are there any songs that stand out to you?
One of them is Dreams, Fleetwood Mac, because I love that scene too, where she's like talking to Clyde for the first time. They're on their like little date or whatever, and she's like talking about the drama of Fleetwood Mac. I'm like, yes, that's my girl. I'm like, I want to be having this conversation with Rob. Like, she seems like she'd be fun to hang out with.
Yeah, no, I love a good conversation like that.
Yeah.
You know, how she goes down the list of like every track in Rumors and like really dissects it. And she's like, I like Tusk better. But yeah, I would love to have a conversation with Rob just about Fleetwood Mac alone.
Right?
I do agree with her 100% though, but I've never seen that in a female protagonist quite that way. Because I know that's how I talk when I'm on a date. not to be like all about me, but I did see myself in Rob a lot. So I'm like,
yeah,
I'd love to talk to that.
You do know your stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You're kind of sore, I would say.
I do love music. I do really relate to.
And you've made many a playlists.
Totally. I feel like they're an integral part of life.
Yeah.
How do you know how to start your day if you can't, I don't know, listen to a song to start your day?
That's true. I feel like I want to take that and incorporate that into my routine a little more. Because I don't.
Playlists?
Yeah. I've been trying to, but I haven't fully committed to. I used to do that all the time. And now I don't know. I think I just haven't been waking up early enough to enjoy a good playlist.
There is power in a getting ready playlist.
Yeah. It's just like, how do you do that? Do you like make it the night before, or do you just have a go-to one, or do you make it that morning as you wake up? Because that's what I do sometimes, but that's like a lot of overwhelm and pressure in the morning.
I feel like you need to have it prepped. What is the last playlist that you made?
The last one in general?
Yes.
It's called Wake the Fuck Up, Bitch. I made it like, I don't know, I think yesterday.
What's on it? What's your top 5?
There's 360 espresso. These are really on the nose. Too Sweet, Pink Pony Club, Gimme Gimme Gimme.
ABBA?
Yes. And then Call Me Mother and Guess featuring Billie Eilish.
Okay.
Yeah. I wanted it to be longer because it's only 24 minutes and I want like a real, but that was how I was feeling in that moment because my Spotify's been like recommending mixes to me. Mm-hmm. Like I have a Chapel Roan mix and
I have a Chapel Roan mix.
You do too?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Yeah.
Let's compare Chapel Roan.
I mean,
mixes.
Are they giving us the same ones? Actually,
Perhaps.
Yeah. What does yours start with? Are they looking into like my personal tastes?
I thought I just took your songs and mixed them.
I thought so. Like
but we'll see.
I know.
What's on your Chapel Roan mix?
Well, it starts off with Good Luck Babe, and then it's 360. So it's kind of similar to my morning play. Like it kind of knew me. Femininomenon, Good Looking, Suki Waterhouse, Pink Pony Club, Espresso again, Super Graphic Ultramodern Girl, Please Please Please, Hot to Go, Feather. It's a lot of Sabrina Carpenter and Chapel Roan, like rotating, and then some Charlie XCX. There's Apple.
Essentially, mine's the same.
Do you have Murder on the Dance Floor?
No, but the only difference is I have some Gracie Abrams and I have some Wallows and I have the Dare.
So I guess it's slightly different. That's good.
Yes.
The robots haven't like gotten lazy.
We're not getting lazy robots.
I just want to make sure if we have robots, they're not lazy.
Totally.
Especially when it comes to music, it's important. What was the last playlist you made?
It was called My Playlist Number 151. I was not clever enough with the title. The first 5 songs on it are Song 2 by Blur, Starburster by Fontaines DC, Ooh. Oblivion, Grimes, Ride, Lana Del Rey,
nice,
and To Love, Suki Waterhouse.
Oh, so I like it.
Yeah, it's a little all over the place. Then Girls by The Dare, Vogue by Madonna, and Sweet Dreams, The Eurythmics.
Oh my God, The Eurythmics showed up in my playlist too. I don't know. They're a vibe.
I love Annie Lennox.
Same. Yeah.
She could sing me through the hard times.
Also, something about 80s music really gets me going. I'm realizing.
Who doesn't love 80s music? Oh. Speaking of 80s music, my favorite needle drop in all of the TV show High Fidelity is Davine Joy Randolph dancing to Come On Eileen.
Oh, that scene is so fun. That's so cute.
It's so cute.
I didn't know you could dance like that to that song. Like the way I'm like, ooh, she's getting it. Like, and I mean, she's right. That song goes hard.
So hard. Not to talk ill about the movie version again, but love Come On Eileen more than Walking on Sunshine for sure.
Yeah, you can't dance. So Walking on Sunshine, I think, is like a happy-go-lucky kind of song, and it's like you can walk to it, like upbeat style. You could be like kind of, but I don't think you can really dance to it. But Come On Eileen has like a slow down kind of break part of the song where
you can pop ass.
You could, yeah.
To Dexy's Midnight Runner.
Yeah,
preferably in overalls. Just like I don't think his name is Dexy. What is that man's name?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I'll call him Dexy.
It's Dexy to me.
But no, I loved. So you liked High Fidelity?
I loved High Fidelity. I do wish there was more. I am not satisfied. I can't get enough, but now it's over. I guess I'd be like, yeah, just rewatch it. But I do want to see, you know what? That's what I wonder if there's like any fan fiction out there.
Yeah.
That keeps the story going.
What fan fiction would you write about High Fidelity?
I don't know. Like, I think there's going to be a point where, like, yeah, I think she'll probably end up dating Clyde a little further, but I don't think they're going to last. But then Mac is somehow going to come back. He's going to call off the wedding. You know, these are all like, I feel like predictable kind of things. Mm-hmm. But then what after that? I don't know.
But Mac's not good for her anyways. You can't be with someone that's already broken up with you.
Oh, and he broke up with her. Yeah.
And she like cheated on him. You know, spoiler.
Yeah, that part. I
can't
guess
go back.
That'd be hard to go back. Well, maybe she'll find some other handsome man.
She's always going to find a handsome man.
Yeah.
She's Zoe Kravitz. That's true. Yeah, what did you think about the girlfriend?
I thought that was cool. You know, I'm like, oh, nice. Bisexual queen.
Oh, yeah. No. I loved
Oh, you
that.
mean the girlfriend? Her
yeah.
Like, it's kind of annoying, actually. I'm like, you know, like when they show the flashbacks of her, she seemed pretty cool. But then, like, in the reality, she's like, oh. But I think that's like, that could be a relatable thing for anyone. Just like, oh, you thought that person was cool in the moment. And looking back, it's like, oh, that the person was cringe. Or they've become someone, they don't have the same values maybe or something, you know? Because she just seemed to value money and the whole like influencer like circle of like she just had like at this dinner party.
She's a terrifying creature.
It's kind of scary. Yeah, it's like everything is for show, nothing is real. Put on this puffy jacket. I'd be so uncomfortable.
Yes,
just because someone's pretty, that doesn't always mean they're good, I guess.
Definitely, that's like the lesson Rob had to learn, I suppose.
Yeah.
I do love the bi representation. I agree.
Yeah.
I do love the idea too that she just got really wrapped up in that relationship and then realized like, oh, quite frankly, I'm just not their type.
Yeah.
And that's relatable to me. Do you know, like if I went back and was like, oh, my top 5 heartbreaks, at least 2 of them, I would look back and be like, oh, I guess I just wasn't their type.
Yeah. That's not on
like
you.
It.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it was bound to happen anyways. It was inevitable. So gotta love that representation.
Yeah. No, I love it that she's on this whole journey and just, I don't know. Because I feel like we're all on that's like a very similar journey, right? Or we should be.
Well, I feel like, you know, in the TV series, Rob is 29 going on 30. Mm-hmm. And we're in that similar age demo as Rob. And it is that like interesting part of life where you're like young enough to know that the world's still like your oyster and there's still so much life ahead of you and you don't know what's going to happen, but you're old enough to now be able to look back on some things.
Yeah.
And like be like, oh, where did I go wrong? And kind of analyze it a little bit. Like you have a little bit of, you know, hindsight and perspective, but not quite enough yet.
And you're still like, working on it.
Yeah. Like you're still working on it. So yeah. I love that representation. Also, anytime. So one of the final episodes, Rob has that, I feel like mood board iconic scene where she's eating pad thai in the bathtub.
I love this when she's like, I'm going to celebrate my birthday by myself eating pad thai.
Well, also, speaking of me, my dream, ideal. I love anytime there's like a female protagonist that really is having a hard time with their birthday. Like I just think to Carrie Bradshaw in The Birthday where she goes to the wrong restaurant.
Oh yeah.
And she's just like really downtrodden about that episode. And I think about the episode of New Girl where Jess is like, I can't do anything for my birthday because I feel like there's going to be a really grand surprise and I'm always disappointed. But
the birthdays are weird. And then milestone birthdays are also weird, I feel. And we put a lot of pressure. Yeah. And then like, I feel like that's one of those things like 30 is one of those milestones. I think that for some people it's like, well, what have you achieved by that time or something, right? Or like maybe people have children or
that's so weird.
I know, but like I don't know. I thought it was interesting. Rob's like, ew, if you have baby. She's like, no one cares if you have a baby.
Relatable.
Like I just thought it was funny that one, like her one friend showing her baby in the club. Like I don't know.
Like, oh, that's great.
I don't know if that's the place to bring that up, but
no,
like at the club,
It is interesting on that birthday tip. I feel like birthdays, 21 is a really big birthday for
That's
obvious
a fun
reasons.
one.
And really fun. And then your birthdays are just...
Do they get less fun as they go?
You know, I do feel like... No, because then 30, there is that sneaky pressure of like, what have you accomplished? But then I'm sure you go through like a lull until like what? Well, do people freak out about 40 nowadays, or is that 50?
They did. Or yeah, but I thought 50 used to be a big deal. Like it was cool. Like, ooh, the big 50
over the hill, though. Yeah. Then you start getting the crypt keeper signs.
I'm the crypt keeper.
So basically, every single birthday you have after 30 is just downhill.
Gosh.
No wonder people have dirty 30s or 30 flirty and thriving, because it's like over the hill is next. I think that's so passe.
I don't believe that. No.
But I do relate to Rob or Jess from New Girl in the fact that I feel like birthdays just lead to disappointment. I feel like
and you have
to manage.
Yeah. And when you're an adult too, it's different.
Yeah.
Like your birthday. I don't know. It's weird. It's hard, because like when you're a kid, you have like a little party and it's all fun and you have no responsibilities. So it's just like, woo. But then as you get older, it's like, I guess it's good to celebrate like another rotation around the sun.
I feel like there's always room for celebrating.
Yeah.
I love a good celebration.
But sometimes a quiet celebration I think is okay. Like some years that's how it happens, Yeah.
If
you want to eat your pad thai in the bathtub,
do you?
I don't judge.
I like the idea of maybe doing something low key on your birthday and then having a party either before or after.
I feel like it was like for Rob, there's like all this pressure all of a sudden to like, go out to celebrate. Like it is nice on one hand, but then all her friends were busy.
That's like the saddest, most relatable thing is seeing her go through like her Rolodex of contacts that you have to settle for people that she really doesn't even know well. It's just only people free.
Yeah. But I think they were going to do something before, right? And
it's just like Yeah. But it's that pressure.
Yeah.
Totally. No, I loved the storyline. So like she starts obsessing over Mac's new girlfriend on Instagram. And then like she's just like such an inner hipster, which relatable, and like takes her whiskey neat.
Yeah.
Speaking of Hosier. But she like has this whole complex about frosé.
That cracked me up. I'm like, is frosé real? Or did they come up with this because it's genius?
What? You haven't heard of frosé?
Is it a real? I guess it's frozen rosé.
It was a couple years ago because this TV show came out in 2020.
Oh, okay.
So, Brie,
I was late to the frosé. I'm sorry.
No, I feel like in like 2018 was like, Brie, we gotta go get frosé.
I don't know that we did though. Did we?
I don't know if we did.
We definitely have drank rosé.
Yeah, but frosé was in that like
I'm
era.
sure it's good though.
That late Instagram era. But like Rob, I had a complex about it. I've never actually had frosé. I was like, should we get it? Should we not?
Oh, it's one of those things. Were you too cool for frosé?
Yeah, but you should just drink your frosé.
Yeah. That's another lesson I feel like she keeps learning is maybe she's not too cool for everything or something. But it's such a I feel like it's relatable.
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
It's that complex.
There's complex. Yeah.
It's like I won't watch a TV show if you recommend it to me kind of thing.
Same. I mean, if you recommend it, it's different. You did recommend High Fidelity.
No, but yeah. No, I know what you mean. Like certain people.
Yeah.
It's different. Like you get a pass. If you're like, you're going to like this, Nikki, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. I have to know you really well and trust your taste to take you up on a recommendation. I don't just trust anyone.
I have to know your thoughts on Game of Thrones first.
Oh,
that's my like.
Is that a test? Are you like, do you like Game of Thrones? And if someone says yes, you're like, I don't want any recommendations.
Yeah, I'm like, no thanks. We are not going to like the same things.
Oh, we're just two different people. I'm sorry. We can't be friends.
Is it Emily in Paris? Because that's a little on the nose, but I'll take it. I'm not going to watch it, but I'll take it. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But did you have any thoughts on like her top 5, like any of the lovers were your favorite?
I'm trying to remember them all because obviously the first one is just like they were kids, so that doesn't really count. Well, I liked Simon. It's just a shame that, he's gay, so they, just didn't work out. But I thought they were kind of cute together because they liked a lot of the same. I know you don't have to like all the same things or anything, but they both seem to have that passion for music, which I think was a good thing to bond over. But then, I mean, I did like Matt because I thought they looked cute together and there was something charming about him. Man, who else was there other than that other lady? I really
loved the musician guy.
That's the guy. I totally forgot about him. Actually, he was probably the best one. We didn't get to see where that was going to go. Mm-mm. That's why I wish there was a season 2. I actually really liked that storyline. I'm like, ooh, okay. It's a little bit like oh man, what was that movie?
The Idea of You?
Yeah, The Idea of You. It reminded me of that just slightly, but not completely.
The guy in The Idea of You kind of looks like this actor.
Yeah, just a little bit. He had better tattoos though, I think, this guy.
100%. No, I love that storyline too. And I love the cameo, the Jack Antonoff cameo.
Oh.
When they're in the studio.
Is that who that was?
Yeah.
I thought he looked familiar.
Yeah, that's Jack Antonoff eating falafel with Zoe Kravitz. I just thought it was like a cute little nod. Because I know they're in the same ecosystem. Zoe Kravitz and Taylor Swift, they're like best friends.
They are?
Apparently. Yeah.
Wow.
So
I thought you just meant as musician. Like
no. Like during the pandemic, didn't they like Taylor Swift say she lived with Zoe Kravitz or they lived together for a little bit? Or
it's news to me.
Yeah, no, I think they're good friends. So there's that connection. But
yeah, I think you're right, Nick, though. He's probably the best one. I forget his name. I forget a lot about this guy, but he was very cute. And, and that's another thing. Like, they both, like, she's like, I always wanted to date a musician. Like, this is so romantic. And I know it's like, you shouldn't fall in love with the idea of a person.
The idea of you?
Yeah, that's the only, there's that. But it could be something, or it could be a short-lived romance, but it could still be like a romance. Like, it could be a real one because they both are so passionate about music,
Definitely.
I think it hadn't probably the most potential.
Mm-hmm. I think so because they're attracted to each other. My favorite boyfriend is the Khaki Clyde.
Khaki Clyde. Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
But
I like her.
But I don't know if they're like super compatible. But I enjoy them because it gets Rob out of her comfort zone. That's like my favorite part about it.
It does. I feel like they both get out of their comfort zone, which is great. And they have an interesting chemistry. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little odd. Like, you can tell they're just very different, but also are trying to connect. Like, they just, we all need connection. And they just somehow do connect, like, over things. They both have a great sense of humor. I feel like humor connects them a lot. And I don't know. They're kind of, there's something to it. It's hard to get past a little bit because I keep associating him with the White Lotus, like his character in the White Lotus, who was really annoying.
Yeah.
But he is a lot better in High Fidelity. It's not the same guy that he's playing. So
I know people don't say it anymore, but Roman Empire, however, is his tattoos because they must be real.
Wait, that Clyde has tattoos?
Yeah.
Khaki Clyde has tattoos?
Yeah. Did you notice when they were, in like the scene where they were hooking up, he has like all these tattoos.
I guess I wasn't paying attention.
Which they were kind of like embedded in his like chest hair. So I'm assuming they're real.
Oh.
And he just seems such like a straight-laced dude to me because I know that's how he reads. That's why he's Khaki Clyde or his character in The White Lotus season 1, So I'm always really fascinated by that because, he's an actor. So he could be totally different personality-wise. And it's just based on how you read. And he reads really like the best guy, but
yeah,
that's also very interesting. I'm like, who is this?
Who is he underneath the vest?
Is it Jack Lacey or Shane Lacey? Whatever his name is. I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know.
I want to dig
beyond, deeper. I would say the khakis. That's gross, but beyond the vest.
The vest is fine.
The vest.
That's as far as we'll go.
Maybe not
We're
the
not
khakis,
there yet.
but
yeah. No, that's a good point. Like, I do wonder, yeah, I'm sure because like a lot of actors, like you might play a character really well, but underneath it, you're still your own person. So
yeah. Also, like you can look a certain way. Like you can just read a certain way. Like, he reads very like yuppie and like
not tats.
upper class. Yeah, like clean cut, you know, square.
He does.
But that doesn't mean that's the person. It's just what he looks like.
Yeah, just looks like a square.
He just looks like a square.
Yeah.
But you peel back the layers like an onion.
That's right. We all have layers.
Yeah. No, I just think it's really cool because we also watched Party Girl.
Hello. Oh, yeah. That was fun.
First time watch for you?
For me, yes.
Okay.
For you, no?
No. Not my first time, but I want to know. Hello. But with Party Girl and High Fidelity, I love how they just utilize fashion and music as like indicators of who these characters are. And they're very like messy it girl protagonists.
I love this.
Which I don't know. I just think it's really interesting. And I don't know. I don't think we get to see that a lot.
No, I love when the girls are messy and they're the main character.
Yeah. And they're trying to find their purpose. And they're using, fashion for, Parker Posey's Mary. And for Rob, it's her musical taste. And she's navigating all of her heartbreaks through her love of music. And like that's like a cool like character device and storytelling device.
Yeah.
But Party Girl. Thoughts? Because this is one of those films that I feel like is such a cult classic. And everyone's like, you gotta watch Party Girl. You gotta watch Party Girl. And Party Girl is one of those films that I get in the mood to watch like every 5 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how many times have you seen this movie? Just like a good handful? Or?
A good handful. I was recommended it in high school. And at the time, so up until really recently, up until Parker Posey's collection on the Criterion Channel, and now it's on Amazon Prime. So now the world gets
it's like everywhere.
Yeah.
I just looked it up like before this, and it's like on so many streaming services now.
Well, it's so ironic because in 1995, when this film premiered, when the film debuted, it was the first film to premiere on the internet.
That is so crazy to me.
And then for the last almost 30 years, it's not hasn't been on the internet. I watched this movie in high school on YouTube. Watched this movie like 2 years ago, YouTube. That was the only place I could ever watch Party Girl was on YouTube. And now everyone gets to see this gem, this really offbeat gem.
I love it. I love that it's offbeat.
Yeah. What do you think about Party Girl?
I love it. It's entertaining. It's a little wacky. I thought it was a little unexpected, the storyline. I thought it was going to be more like, yeah, she's a party girl. She has to get a job as a librarian, but she's like going to goof off, which she kind of does. And she's going to just not want to be a librarian is what I thought. I thought that's how it would end. And I think it's interesting that it turns out the opposite. And she like goes full librarian by the end and learns the Dewey Decimal System. I thought that was interesting.
She finds purpose in the Dewey Decimal System.
She does.
That's like pretty much the plot, which I love.
But I love seeing her, like, just all of her outfits, to be honest, and her party lifestyle. I don't know if that's the takeaway, but...
No, I want to be Mary when she's throwing her illegal house party with Lady Bunny.
Yeah. Falling in love with the falafel man.
Which you almost did. You had your falafel man fantasy almost happen.
I did. I was so close to walking up to him.
That falafel man looked like Zayn Malik.
Yeah, he did. It's a good thing we already had the Shake Shack.
If you had the falafel, you'd be like, is this Mustafa?
Yeah.
No, but okay. So Parker Posey is Mary, a party girl with little income, yet still finds ways to spend her nights at clubs. After being arrested for throwing an illegal rave, she asks her Aunt Judy for bail money. Judy then finds Mary a job at her library so that Mary can repay her. Initially, Mary finds the job as a clerk, boring and stifling, and prefers to get to know the street food vendor whom she likes. However, Mary must reinforce her life once she loses her job and her apartment.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She does lose her job. I forgot about that. Things really go down south. Like there's a lot of ups and downs for her. And it starts out with with her going to jail, like at the very beginning. So
in the best outfit.
Yeah.
I must say, I love the like librarian look almost. yet with the leopard print and the Todd Oldham bag.
Yeah, like when she has like the little glasses and
like right after she gets arrested, like when she gets bailed out.
When she gets out of jail. Yeah, and the way she walks down the street. Oh my goodness.
She's iconic. Like Parker, I understand watching Funny Girl every time I see that they're very influenced by like a bringing up baby. And I see the Katharine Hepburn like screwball comedy influences. But I also see how Lena Dunham would watch this and get very inspired for girls.
Oh, this is part of the inspiration.
Or I believe I've read in an interview or two Lena Dunham really loving Party Girl. I can just see it in her work and her writing.
Sense. She kind of I feel like Lena Dunham in Girls, her character goes through a similar journey.
Definitely.
Of finding the Dewey Decimal System.
Definitely. And even in Legally Blonde, this is like a fun precursor to like a Elle Woods type of character who is, on the surface maybe only cares about clothes and fashion and looking good, but proves that, she's intelligent.
And you can choose looks and books. Like you don't have to just pick one. You can do both.
Definitely. This is just a 90s like indie comedy.
I thought this movie was so funny too. Like I love Parker Posey's like almost like apathetic kind of reads. I don't know, just the way she like says things.
It's the most Parker Posey's ever been.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. It's just great. Like when she says something kind of sassy and backhanded, like in response to Judy or something. It works. I don't know.
There is something about the Parker Posey's line delivery that really tickles my brain.
And I think they have her like looking at the camera just a little, so it's like it just hits different. I don't know. I guess it's part of the offbeat aspect, but I like that. I really enjoyed that the one scene where she's in the kitchen, like just making her own like Lebanese music and playing spoons and this is fantasizing, like, and we get like this whole like montage of the falafel man like shirtless. I'm just like, this is so wild. Or like,
it is one of my favorite scenes because haven't you ever just like had a crush on someone and then just like your fantasies run wild and like you're just like making up scenarios in your head and getting like giddy for no reason. Also in that scene, I love how she is wearing her sweatshirt as a bolero.
She is
like as
how
a little
genius.
shrug. Yeah,
I would have never thought to do that.
Just you gotta be Parker Posey.
Yeah,
you gotta be Party Girl.
Yeah. Did you have any favorite looks from the movie?
The look when she gets bailed out of jail.
I feel like that one's really iconic.
Mainly because I love the idea of a very like bookworm academia style outfit paired with some very tiny sunglasses and leopard print.
Yeah.
And also the Todd Oldham bag really makes me think, like, it screams 90s for one, but it also reminds me of my other favorite lady from New York, Fran.
Yes, this is the whole reason, to be honest, why I wanted to watch this movie, because I've seen the poster, I've seen the stills of her in that outfit, like, and I'm like, this is giving Fran Fine. Like, there's even like a scene where she's like, woo, like doing that thing with her arms out, and the leopard, it's something about the leopard and the red is giving like that little cartoon intro of the nanny.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like that same energy. And I'm like, okay, you've got me. But I need to see this.
Cut.
Yeah.
Is the Todd Oldham bag. Because that bag print, she wears a vest, a Todd Oldham vest.
The nanny?
Yeah.
Yeah. The striped one.
Yes.
The multicolored striped vest.
And that's the bag.
Yeah. I can see it. Yeah. Cause I feel like Fran Fine is also one of those like characters that does like kind of the high-low dressing and is influenced by like, there's like a lot of designer outfits or like pieces she'll incorporate. And then with the tights as well. And like Parker Posey's outfits, a lot of them it's like a mix of vintage and designer. And
Mary is very Fran Fine coded.
Yeah. I feel like she's on her way. This is like, I don't know.
I could see if Mary didn't fall in love with the Dewey Decimal System and find her purpose, pushing the librarian boulder up the hill. I could see her maybe knocking on a door on the Upper East Side, becoming a nanny, asking for a job application and writing it in lipstick. Like, I feel like the pipeline from like Mary to Fran Fine is potent.
I agree.
But yeah, no, it's very interesting. What did you think of the myth of Sisyphus being a really key point in Party Girl?
I thought it was interesting. I mean, I think it's interesting that the falafel man had all this wisdom, for one. I felt like she was just kind of, I don't know if she was regurgitating. She did read it, right? Or did she? She was at the library, right? And just...
Yeah, she read the myth of Sisyphus.
I think she read it.
Because she says, she declares in her apartment, she thinks she's an existentialist.
Yeah. That part I felt was relatable. I feel like I too am an existentialist. But that's maybe for another... I'm like, I don't need to go down that rabbit hole, but... What was the question? Sisyphus?
Yeah,
that's the plot point.
The myth of Sisyphus being the plot point.
I don't know. I think it's interesting. I almost want to watch this movie again because I don't know, and maybe I'm not meant to completely understand it. I really just enjoyed it. But like, I do find it interesting that at the end, she's like, I do want to be a librarian, you know, all my party girl ways. Like, I'm just going to become another person almost. I have mixed feelings about it.
Well, the myth of Sisyphus, so Albert Camus, he basically states that, you know, life is absurd.
Yeah.
So what's the meaning of life, you know? And in the beginning of the myth of Sisyphus, he talks about, like, the validity of suicide. Not to, like, get too far into this.
Yeah.
Because this movie is a comedy. Because obviously it's like, yeah, life is absurd. And she's absurd. And... you know, this whole concept is absurd.
Yeah.
For one, you know, and she's still like this kind of sort of vapid character. Like, she's funny, you know? Like, Parker Posey is playing her perfectly. And I wonder if you saw it on a screen, like a movie theater screen, if it would read more as a comedy, you know?
Oh, maybe.
But basically, in the first bit of the myth of Sisyphus, he's like, suicide isn't really valid because you're like, the meaning of us like being here, we're really just trying to find purpose.
Yeah.
And we really can't like make our own I'm butchering this, but like essentially you can't dictate that yourself. And
like, there's a divine purpose, like, or
no, like, we're searching for purpose, and that's the purpose. Like, it's absurd.
The purpose is to search for purpose, but maybe not always finding it. Is that what you're trying to
Well,
tell
you're
me?
never going to find it. Like, that's the point.
You'll never
We're
find
always
purpose.
searching for purpose.
Yeah.
That's what we're always searching for purpose.
It's exhausting. But
well, like pushing the rock up the hill. But he finds his purpose in every time he gets it up the hill, in rolling, you know, having to do it again.
Yeah.
And even though it's like a curse and he's tasked with this curse his whole life, it's about finding the joy in the moments in between while you're pushing the rock up the hill. So Mary's finding joy in the journey up the hill.
That's actually really lovely.
So yeah, it's like,
if you put it that way, that makes sense.
Yeah. And it makes me think of the scene where, so she has like this fabulous friend who's like a wannabe DJ.
Oh, yeah.
And she takes it upon herself to use her newfound Dewey Decimal System to organize all of his records. And she really like is like, oh, I found my purpose. And at first he's upset, but then he's like, oh my God, this is actually like really smart in a great way, you know? But that's like her way, or I read it as her way of, you know, it's like her task. If she's like Sisyphus, she's at the library. This party girl's at the library, and that's her like pushing the boulder up the hill. But she's like finding it. Yeah. In her everyday life. Like she's,
I guess that's good advice to take. Just, you know, to find the joy in pushing the rock.
Yeah. And I don't know. The myth of Sisyphus it's way more than that, and existentialism is way different than I think that we use it typically in everyday life. Like when I started reading into existentialism, It's another rabbit hole. This is not a philosophy podcast.
Yeah, I know. That's why I had to stop myself. I'm like,
I am a silly, silly baby girl. I have no business talking about that, but it's just very interesting to me.
Yeah, that they chose that as like a plot point.
It's funny. It's cool.
It is. Yeah.
It's a good metaphor, I think, the Sisyphus. And also it's funny because Mary is still quite privileged and she's getting this advice from Mustafa, who, works at the falafel cart and, has all these he's an immigrant, and it's based on one of the writers who actually was a teacher at teaching ESL.
Oh.
And they really wanted a Middle Eastern actor, proper. I don't know. It's just interesting to think that he's telling her this because he has this really hard life and she just, all she needs to do is get a job. She doesn't have to stop partying. She just has to
that's true.
Be a little more responsible.
That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah. I guess she could just be more responsible because she really isn't. Not at the beginning anyway.
But I do relate to that too. So
yeah. Also, who knew being a librarian was so such a serious thing?
I know. Well, it's also interesting too. The writer and director, so they interview people that actually were librarians, and they would talk about how sexist and terrible. What's his name? Dewey? Darwin Dewey?
Yeah.
But the guy who created the Dewey Decimal System.
Only women can do it, right? That just sounds like
because they're too stupid to
do everything else.
Anything else. Yeah.
Or are they really smart and the men are lazy, so they're going to have the women do all the organizing because they don't want to do it? I don't know. I think the Dewey System's messed up.
Boycott the Dewey Decimal System?
Yeah. I don't even know. Do they even use that anymore? I mean, it's everything's so digitized nowadays. Do they even need to do all that? It's just crazy.
I think they do, right? I haven't been to a library in forever.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Go to your local libraries.
But I wonder if, as a librarian, how serious is it in the,
It should be.
Yeah.
You heard Judy's monologue?
That's true.
While she's wearing the alphabet shirt. That's one of my favorite looks, to be honest.
Judy's alphabet shirt is iconic.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I was like, ooh, is this a feminist piece of media? Is that what this is?
A little bit. It passes the Bechdel test.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I don't know. Made me think. I also enjoyed the club scenes, just getting a glimpse of the club life.
What did you think of Mary's in this downtown scene. She's very much a club kid, and there's cameos by Lady Bunny and a couple other people in the scene, the director and all the writers, and even Parker Posey to some extent was partying with RuPaul in the 90s.
So fun.
It's just very much in that ball culture.
Yeah.
What do you think of that element?
I think it's really cool to include, and it's even cooler to know that she's that she was kind of a part of that scene. And I love the scene where she's voguing and just I don't know.
The opera gloves.
Yeah. I don't know. I still think Ray Gun maybe took some inspo from this, but
how so?
The looking at the watch and yawning. I don't know. It's pretty much the same move. I don't know.
I love when anyone vogues.
Yeah.
In real life, especially, it gets the party started. Just talking about playlists, if you vogue as well. But I don't know. I love that element.
Also the music.
Voguing. Yeah.
The club music. Oh yeah, D-Light.
I'm always fascinated by 90s club culture. I mean, definitely thinking about Party Girl, there's that element of Paris is Burning and in that ball culture we were talking about.
Ball culture.
But also just the idea, the fantasy I have of the New York in the 90s and Chloe Sevigny and
I want to be a club kid in the 90s.
Yeah, or just listening to Delight, or I feel in every club, my fantasy of the 90s is you walk into a club and there's just Be My Lover playing, just on loop.
For sure.
And that's like my ultimate fantasy, is to dress like Parker Posey and Party Girl and just dance to Be My Lover.
Yeah, I agree. No, I loved Party Girl. I really did enjoy the side story with the falafel man. I forget why he was upset. What did she? Oh, I think she stood him up or something. Or
she did throw a really problematic party that was Middle Eastern themed.
That too, yeah.
It was a little offensive.
She did a lot of things, I think, to piss off the falafel man, but
she really did the falafel man dirty.
She did,
for sure.
But I love the scenes where she like goes up and tries to like. There's like that whole montage of her like trying to make up with the falafel man, and he's like, "No, I will not sell you falafels today."
That's one of my favorite scenes, when he's like, I look at every day. She goes and orders a falafel with hot sauce, a side of baba ganoush, and a seltzer.
Yeah, that sounds right. Which I'm like, ooh, should I try? I don't know what all that necessarily is, but I would try it. If I see a falafel man hot enough, maybe next time.
Next time you got to do the Party Girl special.
Yeah. I feel like I want to look like Party Girl when I do that, though. You know what I mean? You have to like have like the funky tights and the whole get up.
Totally. What was your favorite Parker Posey fashion moment in Party Girl?
I loved like during that montage scene, she's wearing like this, it looks like a maroon kind of sweater, and then her like leopard, I don't know if it's exactly a coat or she's wearing it kind of off the shoulder, and then like a velour skirt, and it looks like purple tights. I don't know if it's a designer look or one of the vintage looks though. But I just loved it. I don't know. I love the color scheme. It's like, it's very interesting the way she mixes like textures and patterns.
Yes. I love that it looks like highly stylized for sure, but it does look like she was like, like she picked it out of her closet and was like, I like this, I'm gonna wear it, and she did that to every single piece.
Yeah. And I feel like in that whole like scene where it's just like back to back, like she's going up and talking to the falafel man, like every outfit she wears is like a different like bold like statement outfit. Like there's one where she has like this like funky like fur hat and like tiny sunglasses, and it's just like, it feels so sassy but like very chic.
She has to make a statement for Mufasa.
She wants to be noticed.
I love it. Again with the Fran Fine.
Yeah,
it's very Fran.
It is very Fran Fine. I'm thinking maybe there's something to this like skirt with like tights, you know, a little leopard on top.
Is Mary Fran Fine's younger cousin?
Maybe. They must be related, right? There's got to be a connection.
They're running parallel lives.
Yeah. I'm surprised that Fran didn't write in, like, you know how sometimes she'll have like celebrity guests and they'll be like someone like, oh, that's my cousin, or that's, you know what I mean? She could have wrote Parker Posey a little something in there. I think it would have worked perfect.
Agreed. But they just get to live both in like this 90s time.
Maybe it's too parallel.
Separate but together in spirit.
Yeah. Bound by their fashion.
Yes.
Love for leopard.
Bound by their love for leopard and fabulous tights.
Something that would like kind of hurt me is she sold a lot of her clothes. She had to, I guess, to pay the rent. But I was like, oh no, not her. I don't know. I'm also like, does she want to be a designer? Or because there was like, I feel like they allude to her like wanting to design clothes, because she like asked her friend like, do you think I'd make a good designer? Do you think this and that? And she's always like pairing different things together. So it almost seems like maybe she would go like that creative route, but she doesn't exactly, because she needs a job as a librarian. But I just wonder like, where's that storyline? Like, does she become a designer?
Yeah.
I know this is just a movie and it has to have a conclusion, but I'm like, I'm not completely satisfied with the conclusion.
I'd love I don't know, like a Saturn return for Mary.
Yeah.
Where she's like learned all this, learned the Dewey Decimal System, gone, climbed up the librarian ladder and realized like, oh, I could be a fabulous party planner.
Yes. And
just start, instead of doing illegal raves, hosting legal raves.
Yes.
And hosting fabulous parties. She already has the Lady Bunny connection, and she knows She hellos everyone. She knows everyone. She's a party girl.
That's genius.
She uses her networking style and her love of fashion, and she knows DJs, and she has connections.
Yeah.
And she can be organized now.
She can. Now she knows how to organize. Just put it all together.
There you go.
Perfect. Yeah, because she essentially becomes Judy by the end. Like, she's like learned.
Yeah.
I know there's probably a little more to learn, but she like learns pretty much everything she needs to. She yells at like the people in the library if they don't put the books back. You know what I mean? Like she has that like.
And she's going to grad school, didn't she say? She was going to go to grad school. And,
Yeah, so after all that, like, yeah, then what? Because then you're searching for purpose again, right? Like once you've
pushed the boulder all the way up the hill.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I'd like to see that Party Girl 2.
Party Girl 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
Why do you think this film has such a cult following?
Well, I feel like this film would be popular with the gays, I'm guessing, just because there's such love for that community. You can just tell in the film. So that makes sense to me. And then like anyone who loves fashion, I feel like this movie could be studied just for the fashion. And it's so quirky. And I think that's what makes it like unique is like that upbeat, like that weird, I don't know how to describe it. Cause some of the dialogue I thought was maybe not the best. And I feel like I love Parker Posey and I loved her like line reads and how they like, they're just so Parker Posey.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think, yeah, like with the dialogue, like some of it being kind of strange. Do you know what I mean? Like how it's like not completely natural. Like some of it is like really written like as a joke or like.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like a punchline almost. And then the story, like there's some like, maybe not exactly dream sequences, but like just the style of the film itself is like.
It's not structured in a super traditional sense. It's a little all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah. But I like that. It's different and I don't think it was appreciated probably at the time.
I mean, we're in such a different place as far as like filmmaking now, but I love the idea, especially in the 90s. It seems like there was like a wealth of films.
Yeah.
You get high budget films, mid budget films, low budget independent films. And this is just like, I think it resonates because of the fashion, because it's a coming of age story.
That too.
About finding your purpose. But also, I think this is like a gateway into films these are totally different from Party Girl. But bear with me, like a Kids or even a Last Days of Disco.
Oh, yeah. It did remind me. Wait, is she in? No, that's not her. That's
Kate Beckinsale and Chloe Sevigny. But like both films are like two different ends of like the spectrum for sure. Like Kids is not like Party Girl or like Last Days of Disco. But I just think of it in the sense of like New York in 90s independent films.
Yeah.
And it's one of those like Party Girl's like a good gateway. It's like if you like Party Girl and you like how off kilter it is and like you like the low budgetness and you love the fashion and you want more of that, then Last Days of Disco. Yeah. I'd say give that a spin.
I like Last Days of Disco a lot. And that also is like young people trying to find themselves. Like what, like, where do you fit in? Like, what career are you going to choose? Like,
are you going to, how are you going to push the rock?
Are you going to push that rock? Yeah.
But then also, if you're like, I really enjoy Party Girl, but what's up? I feel like there's a different, like, I want to explore a scene in New York and like from the perspective of teenagers.
Yeah.
And, like younger, like if you're just like, oh, this is an interesting, I don't know. I want it to be edgier. Then I would be like, oh, let's just watch Kids.
I've never seen Kids.
I've seen Kids. I haven't seen Gummo. We've talked about this
before.
Yeah.
We were both saying like we would probably want to see Gummo though.
Yeah, but that might be a little bit of a different. I don't know if there's a pipeline.
I don't think that one's a little different. Stands out. Yeah.
I mean, also Kids is very different. It's dark and gritty and nothing like Party Girl. I don't know why I made that connection. I think it's just kids in New York,
like
in the
club
90s.
kids too.
Yeah, maybe like club kid adjacent.
Yeah.
Also, just it girls in the 90s. I mean, Chloe Sevigny is in Kids and Last Days of Disco, and Parker Posey is in Party Girl, and all the Christopher Guest films, and The House of Yes. And I feel like that's just a very interesting. We don't have an like a modern day equivalent to these, 90s independent films.
Yeah.
Or these it girls.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, we have like Julia Fox is an it girl, but she's not. Well, she's an Uncut Gems.
She's an Uncut Gems.
But I know Parker Posey was like cast in a lot of like indie films, right? That was like the route. Same thing with Chloe Sevigny.
Yeah.
Like they both were kind of working with people who were making, not high budget necessarily, but like really interesting films, like offbeat films, but important stories maybe. Or they were just like, it seems like they were just, there's like a different energy. I don't know how to describe it. Of just like, we're just going to go for this.
Well, yeah. Like it's when we were researching Chloe Sevigny, and it's like, oh, she was friends with Harmony Korine. And she really, like, everything she chose back then, it wasn't because her management told her. It was just what she liked and what she gravitated towards. And I think my understanding is the same with Parker Posey. She's like the indie film queen, not because she said, oh, that's like my career move, but because she was like, oh, I want to work with this director. Oh, that's interesting. This is interesting.
Yeah. You get to play interesting characters.
Yeah. So it's not a bad moniker to have, especially if you're able to like just choose who you want.
What is your favorite Parker Posey film though?
The best film of all time.
Josie and the Pussycats. I knew you'd say that.
I like Best in Show.
Oh, yeah, she's hilarious in Best in Show.
Yeah. What's your favorite?
I do really enjoy her in Josie and the Pussycats as well.
She's excellent as the villain in Josie and the Pussycats.
I like seeing her as a villain. I don't know what it is. She
does it so well. And as the like lisping Lisa, or like the
lisp, she had the lisp.
The lisp, and it's just her Parker Posey brand. Like, I remember when I was acting and I would get sent sides from my agent of like the Miss Maisel type. I feel like Parker Posey is a type.
Yeah.
It's something you can't describe. It's just like if you say Parker Posey type, you're like, oh, okay, I understand, because she has a very interesting brand of humor.
Yeah. I also, in Josie and the Pussycats, great style. Her character has great styles.
My favorite look in Josie and the Pussycats is her outfit with like the feathers coming out of her hair, her very like 2001 Meg Ryan haircut, and the like big, huge circle sequins with all the body glitter. It's a slime.
It is. I don't know. I just think that's cool. I feel like in most scenarios, like in most of her films, there is an aspect of fashion too. Like she's always just looking good. I don't know.
Well, in Party Girl, that's a lot of her clothes as well.
Right. That's what I heard. I wonder which pieces were hers though. I was trying to find information and I couldn't but I'm like, oh, was it the tights? Like what was it the shoes? Was that jacket, that one jacket? I don't know.
That Todd Oldham back.
Yeah.
But what's your favorite Parker Posey role?
Maybe Party Girl. I'll say Party Girl. But it makes me want to watch more just Parker Posey films in general, because I haven't seen that many.
Yes.
Just go all in.
Definitely. I want to rewatch The House of Yes and a lot more Christopher Guest films. But yeah, I want to go down the Parker Posey rabbit hole a little bit more. I'm a little remiss that I missed the Parker Posey collection on Criterion.
You missed it completely?
I don't know, unless it's still on there, but
yeah, there's something about 90s Parker Posey. But anytime I see her on screen, I get excited. So I don't know.
Are you excited for The White Lotus season 3?
Yes. What is that? Is that 2025 or?
Yeah, next year. I'm excited to see her playing what I hope is a Tanya McQuad-esque role in season 3.
Yeah. Do you think she'll be like comedic, like kind of like in Party Girl? Like how? I don't know. She's got to be. I think she's funny.
I do too. I think Parker Posey has a really unique sense of humor that's like perfect for Mike White and The White Lotus.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's one of the great character actors. So I'm excited. But Brie, you want to wrap this up? Because
sure. I know. I know you got the hiccups.
Have the hiccups.
Yeah. I think we've said all we could say about Party Girl.
Yes. all my hiccups will allow. But no, these are 2 great comfort watches that I would highly, highly recommend.
I would too. Yeah. I'm really glad that I went down this rabbit hole.
Totally. I'm glad you finally got to watch Party Girl.
I know.
You can just tick that off in good old Letterboxd.
Yeah. I need to be more involved in Letterboxd.
Brie, you gotta be on Letterboxd. Not to sound like those girls from NYU and the Sophia Coppola book signing line, but
it's okay. It's true. I looked at my Letterboxd. I only have like two of my top favorites up there, so I gotta sort that out.
Work out of 5. That's what I'm gonna be asking you at the top of next week's episode. I'm gonna as a pickup line, like those girls in line. I'm gonna be like, "What's your top 5 on Letterboxd?"
I'll be prepared.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening.
We'll see you next week.
Bye. Late to the Party is hosted by Nikki Jensen and Brie Picconi. Our podcast is produced by Grace Dunbar and edited by Brie.
That's me. Thanks for listening. Make sure to rate and review us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We'll see you next week. Bye.